So it's been a while since we really had anything exciting to do with Star Wars Eclipse, the multi-character action-adventure game currently in development over at Quantic Dream. But the other day, some concept art officially leaked, which I won't be showing for copyright reasons, but I will discuss them and leave a link to them in the description. But before I dive any further into these concept art pieces, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the notification bell turned on so that you don't miss out on any more Star Wars Eclipse news or other Star Wars gaming content. So the concept art was found by the folks over at MP First, who actually leaked some Star Wars Zero Company work in progress screenshots a couple of weeks prior to its reveal at Star Wars Celebration Japan. So it definitely is coming from a reliable source. Now the concept art leaks contain 13 images focused on about 7 different characters that could be in the game in some way, some big and some not so big. And the artwork comes from someone's portfolio who briefly worked on the game. Now these characters include a Gungan, a Rodian and a few other different species that we don't actually see in Star Wars very often. Now in terms of the reliability, of course these pieces of artwork could be done by anyone who wants to have a little bit of fun and is obviously a very talented artist, and that could be possible since there's no official logos or anything to say that it's from Star Wars Eclipse, but my assumption is that it came from someone's portfolio that stated that it was from the game, and the artworks do very closely match the overall tone of the game that we saw from the trailer that was released back in 2021. And like I said, this is coming from MP First, and given what they showed about Zero Company the other week, I'm definitely inclined to have faith in what they're saying, but of course do take all of this with a grain of salt. Now what they've also said in this article accompanying the concept art leaks is that the game is eyeing up a release date of 2026, and that information actually comes from an Insider Gaming report from 2023, but since then there has been the NetEase acquisition and reshuffling, which Quantic Dream were left pretty much unaffected by from what we know, and Star Wars Eclipse is very much an ongoing project, which is very good to hear, but I'm not really sure how confident I am on that 2026 release date anymore because of all of these things happening. And we do also know that Star Wars Zero Company is coming in 2026, which I imagine is probably targeting a first half release of the year given its reveal now, similar to Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which could then leave the second half of 2026 wide open for Star Wars Eclipse to go into. But I'm still very much expecting a 2027 release, which is what I've been thinking for a very long time now, pretty much since its reveal. It's also worth mentioning that the Twitter account posing to be the official Star Wars Eclipse has been suspended. A lot of people believed this account was the legitimate account without really batting an eyelid. When I first saw it, it was about 6 AM in Japan after a super busy weekend, so I had a little bit of hope straight away, but then very quickly came to my senses. But I saw a lot of people believing it over on Reddit, over on Twitter, and just everywhere basically, which is really not ideal. But the account has been suspended, like I've said, so it is officially not official, so do not believe anything that they said. We are still likely a very long way away from anything official with Star Wars Eclipse happening. But regardless of that, I am very excited for Star Wars Eclipse to release and finally get some kind of information officially. I imagine we are still some ways away from that happening, but I will of course keep you guys as up to date as possible with this game and many other Star Wars titles going forward. So subscribe if you haven't already. But that is it from me today though. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Thank you for watching, and may the force be with you always.